Hello, Miss Lucia. How are you today?
Very well, thank you. And it's always so wonderful to see you
It's
with
indeed
these
a pleasure.
episodes. We're venturing into a very interesting area now with regards to habits.
Yes.
Hello,
And
ma'am.
as we know, Stephen Covey has written a lot about the 7 habits of highly effective people.
Yes.
Tonight, you're going to start to introduce us to be proactive. So, doctor, what are habits and how are they formed?
See, habits are basically something which a person is consistently involved in, and slowly, it becomes a part and parcel of your lifestyle. And normally, it is said in psychology that if you do something for 21 days, then it becomes a part of your life. And then you don't need to consciously think about it. So, when we talk about a habit, that means that you're doing a thing and you don't need to be consciously working towards it, taking an action and making a difference. It just starts happening by itself. Like, say, for example, when you get a new license and you're driving, you're on road, you are so cautious, like you're looking into your left mirror and right mirror and back mirror, and every move you're so cautious that you're driving. And gradually and slowly, if you're driving for n number of years, you will realize that people can just drive and they can talk and they can enjoy music, and the driving happens naturally. So that process of being conscious and working on something from your conscious mind to gradually, when it moves to your subconscious mind and starts happening, then we say it has become your habit. Like early morning cup of tea. So some people would just have it or not have it, it does not matter. But some people are so habitual that their day does not start without that very first cup of tea. So you get up whether it is winter or whether it is summer or whichever season, just to get started you need your that very first cup of a tea, and it is a habit. So when we talk about habits, we need to see that there are certain good habits, and if they become a part and parcel of your lifestyle, your life is at a different wavelength. And Stephen Covey has written this book of 7 habits of highly successful people. And I very strongly recommend it to everyone to read this. I remember I read this book when I think I was 15 years, 16 years old. And I read that, Highly Effective Teens by Sean Covey. It's a beautiful book which is written by his son, which is for teenagers. And now we even have for the kids, for the little ones. So we have all kinds of variations. And I think if adults have not read this book, then they have missed something very significant in their lifetime. So this is a book for everyone, for every age and stage. So all those parents up there in our audience, if you have not seen and read this book, please lay your hands on it. And now the summer holidays are coming. You can gift your children this book. It is a wonderful book. So habits are very important, and we should, if we don't have some healthy habits, we should consciously be working on it so that it becomes a part and parcel of our lifestyles. Thank you so much for your question, Miss Licia.
Thank you, Dr. Alka. Second question, habit 1, be proactive. Can you kindly explain what this means exactly?
Okay, thank you so much. Now, so when we talk about imbibing habits into our lifestyles, the very first habit is be proactive. Now, what is being proactive means? So there are people who are proactive, they plan ahead. They whenever there is an action to be taken, it is an action by choice, it is not an action by accident. They are the one, they do get impacted by the external stimulus, but more important is that their decisions are very value-based decisions. They're not impulsive, that something happens and then you react in a certain fashion and then you regret for your action. And so being proactive means that you be attentive. Your life, your decisions are not driven by the circumstances, are not driven by the external things, but they're driven by your within self. You know that what you're looking for in life. So being proactive is a beautiful concept. Actually, every individual need to start to first take responsibility. Proactive people are who take responsibility. I have seen, people could be at a very senior positions, but they just don't accept responsibilities. And I think to be a leader, one has to first step start taking responsibilities. So you normally see that there are followers and there are leaders, and leaders are the ones who themselves take a responsibility and start to act towards it. You don't wait for people to come and instruct you to do it. So proactive people are the ones who take action by their simple choices, and they don't wait for others to come and ask them to do the things. They take initiative in life, and they make things better for themselves, and they make things better for others around them. So I think it's very important quality, because if we teach our children, from early years. Say, for example, a child is in a school passing by and suddenly sees a 500 dirhams bill in the corridor. What should the child do? One is just look at it, ignore and go pass by. It's not my 500. I'm not bothered. So I just ignore it. So I'm a very conscientious person. I'm very moralistic person. My parents have taught me not to pick up that 500 dirhams bill. So I just left it there. So I looked at that note and I know, oh my God, it's a big money, but I didn't do anything about it. Or am I proactive? I picked it up. I went to the principal's office or I went to the supervisor's office, and I told them that I found this money lying there in the corridor at this point, at this place, and it doesn't belong to me. But I thought that it should be at the right place so that it reaches the right person. So taking that action, like right now, we see in India, the pandemic situation is going out of hand. It's bad. If we are Indians, we are out of India, we are proactive. What can we contribute? What can we do? We don't need to wait for instructions and people to come and guide us, but we know that this is the place where I want to make a difference. Not really Indians, but anybody for that matter. I still remember that, we used to motivate our young students to take up the social responsibilities and do fundraising and reach it out. At the time of tsunami, I remember our students ran around and collected money for the victims of tsunami. It was not my country, my responsibility, your responsibility, but it is a responsibility towards humanity. So I think proactive students are the one, they take initiative and they take responsibility. So I'm talking for the kids, but of course it refers to the adults as well. So there are adults who fail to take responsibility. Thank you so much for your question.
Thank you very much, Dr. Alka. How do people become proactive?
Very, very good. How should one become proactive? See, the first thing is that proactive people are very productive people and they are very prepared. So you need to be very watchful and observant about your surroundings. You cannot keep blaming and say that, it's not, things are not going right in my life because of the circumstances. Things are not going good in my life because of my parents, because of pandemic, because of XYZ. When you look for excuses, you look for reasons, you will find 100 reasons. See, pandemic has hit everybody very, very hard. A lot of people have lost their jobs. A lot of people have crushed their businesses down to zero. The lot of it. So see, external things will keep happening. But the person who's proactive, That person starts evaluating the situation and start taking necessary action on board. Sitting down, complaining, cribbing is not the thing. Now, let me explain the difference between proactive and reactive. Now, proactive people are that there is a stimulus, then there is my choice, and then there is a response. Whereas reactive people are, there is a stimulus, there is a response. Now, you would see in today's era, there are so many adults, they would sit and talk hours about, oh my God, pandemic is so bad, everything is going negative, nothing is right, this is wrong, that is wrong, sitting and cribbing. Children are studying in the laptops, or children are studying in the mobile, their life is spoiled. This is, sitting down and cribbing about the conditions which you cannot change is not an act of a proactive person. So again, I will introduce quickly a concept called ABC and AUC. ABC stands for all beyond control. AUC stands for all under control. Now, if you keep venturing into the domain of things which are beyond your control, what you will get is stress, anxiety, depression. But the moment you start venturing into the domain of things which are under your control, then the action comes. So you need to be very, very clear that are you wasting your time on something which is just beyond you? Now, when will this corona finish? You don't know. I don't know. About corona, we can't predict. But what can we do? We can be responsible citizens. Sorry, we should take all necessary precautions. If we are going in a public place, we need to have our mask up. We need to have our gloves on. We need to see that we come back. We need to sanitize ourselves. We need to take shower, clean. All those things are under your control. But if you talk about why schools are having online classes, that can you control the schools of all over the world? You cannot. So why are you wasting your time on such things? So when you say, how can people be proactive? People can be proactive if there is a stimulus and they take responsibility, and their responsibility is their choice. Exercise your choice before you respond. So a lot of people will do, there is a stimulus, there is a response. So somebody said something and you answer back. You get into an argument, you get angry, you start throwing tantrums. Those are not proactive people. Even if somebody is coming up with something very bad to you, you still have a choice to just ignore and be silent, because if you respond at that moment, things will go from bad to worse. That is his opinion. Even if it is wrong about you, it hurts you. That does not really mean that you need to react to it at that moment. So the only way you can make yourself proactive is that you need to hold on to your response, that your response is your choice. Your response, you're not forced to misbehave. Nobody forces anybody to misbehave. You need, and another thing, the people who are proactive, they also have to do the list. The people who are reactive, they also have to do the list. But you know the difference you will see between the two? Proactive people will prioritize it. They are able to differentiate between urgent and important. And this is a very significant difference. What is the difference between urgent and important? Urgent are the things which are time-based. Important are the things, they're important, but there is no timeline to it. And Stephen Covey talks in one of his modules and he says, the first thing we need to address is what is timelined. Important things can still wait. But what happens is with the reactive people, they become so impulsive and they keep jumping from urgent to important to urgent to important, and they're not able to maintain the priority there. So I think in life, when you're taking an action, the first step is that you look at the task and you ask, is this urgent or is this important? And if this is important, it can wait till I finish the tasks which are urgent. So I think that is very, very significant that we start teaching that in our children at young age, and then it should become a part of their habit. Then they don't need reminders from their parents, they don't need reminders from their teachers, but it becomes their lifestyle. So you will see certain children are so responsible, they come back and they know that tomorrow is a test, they will come, they will sit, they will study, they will finish, and then they have all the free time to their hand. There'll be another set of students, they will come and watch TV, play games, and sleep after being tired. In early morning, they'll say, oh my God, today's a test. I've not studied. I'm not prepared. What should I do? So this is the difference between a proactive person and a reactive person. So I think it is very, very important that we teach our children and then cultivate it as a habit. Thank you so much, Ms. Licia.
Thank you, Dr. Alka. Our final question is, why is it important for a leader to become proactive?
Very, very good question. Very good question. Why should a leader be proactive? Because proactive people act rather than being acted upon. So followers are which are being acted upon. Leaders are not on whom somebody acts. You take the responsibility and you are the trendsetter. You actually, instead of letting, their conditions and circumstances to be the driving forces for their decisions, proactive people always allow their values to determine the choices they make. Very important. It's a beautiful statement. So your circumstance, what can I do? I have no job. What can I do? I can't do anything. It's a bad era. It's a bad time. And then, we just cry and crib. I think a proactive is a very beautiful example of our own team. That see, when pandemic happened, of course, we were impacted, we were shattered, and it took us a time to put our things together. And today, if I reflect back, I say we are doing amazingly well. We're back on track. So the thing is, the proactive, I think my whole team is so proactive. So everybody, see, the summer camps were around the corners. We were doing the physical summer camps. We had no idea about how does the online things work. And then suddenly Thrush, March, and we were talking about last year, Corona. And we knew that our most important camps are going to be impacted, which are summer camps, which actually brings in the money for our school of determination for our children. So if we will not earn during the summertime, our whole year is going to be impacted. But how beautifully in the month of, first we thought it will all disappear by April. April started, nothing happened, things started going from bad to worse. And I remember I got infected last year by Corona. And while I was in the hospital for about 2 months, my whole team was very proactive to see that we are able to turn everything online before June, July starts, and we are ready for our online camps. And I say with proud that all our content is now online. And over the year, this year, we've worked so much towards our summer camp that all the training programs, all these habits, everything is online. There's such lovely videos. There's some lovely online worksheets that I don't see any difference when our children attend the courses physically or they attend it online. So I think it is very important component of leadership for being proactive. Sitting down and cribbing about the spilt milk is just not going to help. Take responsibility for the situation, whatever, no matter how dire the need is. But if the leadership qualities are there, if we are active and we understand the responsibility and we take the initiative to make things better, I think sky is the limit. In every situation, in every scenario, that is possible, but one need to prioritize is, one need to see that the things are done on action. So for me, I think it is very, very important to be prepared, to be productive, not blame others for what's happening, because nobody has a control on your life other than you yourself. You're completely in control of yourself. And when these kind of things, and every action of yours is coming from your conscious choice, because you're making a choice. You may go wrong, nothing bad about it if you go wrong, but then you cannot be reactive. You can't jump onto things and then you become impulsive. You're driven by your feelings. No, you're driven by your thinking. So proactive people are driven by their thinking, whereas reactive people are driven by their feelings. And if you take decisions into an emotional state, then things can really go wrong. So I think when young children come to us, we ensure that we cultivate being proactive as a part of their habit. So it is their natural response. They don't have to fetch for suggestions. They don't need to fetch for advices from people, but it comes to them naturally. And if that happens, then they are the true leaders. And that is how I believe. And I say that leaders are not born, but made. And that is what we at Edus can do it. And I think being proactive is a very, very important virtue for an adult or for a child.
That's wonderful, Doctor. That is absolutely wonderful. So it is very important to be proactive. And now let us be proactive with our lovely audience. We have to thank our community because they have been proactive in attending this talk tonight. So if there are any questions, kindly feel free to ask or to share your thoughts. Right. It is an interactive session, so it would be lovely. Thank you.
I would love to actually congratulate our viewers to be here today. And please feel free and express your opinion, your thoughts, or if you have any question, please ask, because these sessions are meant for our community. And we want our community to realize the need of it and imbibe it into their, in their lifestyle, not only their own lifestyle, but in the lifestyles of the growing children under their shelter. So I'm very happy to have our viewers here. Anybody wants to ask anything, you're most welcome to ask.
Nothing from my side. Today is the first time I'm attending this seminar and I like it, and I'll make a point that every Saturday I join it.
Thank you so much. I'm very happy for your attendance itself. When the message goes to the moms and the dads, to the families, believe it, we're talking about an era which is unprecedented, and we all need to do the hand holding to support each other to see that our future generation gets the best. Thank you so much for attending it. Thank you very much.
Our pleasure.
So very good, Dr. Alka. So now we can even talk about what we do within our own community with the children, with the Leadership Club. So we inspire our children to participate in this, and even each day they're given responsibilities and tasks to follow through and develop their leadership skills on a daily basis. So being proactive is always there for them.
Rightly said, Lucia ma'am, because I know even at our School of Determination, our teachers are trained in such a way that these small responsibilities are assigned to our children in the classes, be it online or be it offline, and then given them this trial within a very calculative environment. And when children are able to do those small little tasks, then the esteem is built and they're confident. And as I say, that when they keep doing it for 21 days, it becomes a habit. And that is what me and Miss Lucia together, along with our total team of EduScan, are striving for. The whole objective is that our children have the best future, because we are trying to give them 21st century every possible skill so that they enjoy life and they are very, very happy and content.
Yes, Doctor. We have a lovely message.
Can you read it out for us?
Thank you very much, dear Dr. Alka. This session was a very useful and nice. Thank you for that lovely comment.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot for your appreciation. And let me tell you that your kind words let this ball rolling and give us the momentum to go on. Thank you so much. Thanks, Tans.
So thank you once again, Dr. Alka. It was such a lovely episode, and we look forward to the next one. So have a lovely evening, everyone, and see you next time.
Take care. Bye-bye. Thanks for coming.